Reborn from ruin 3 weeks before my wedding, my fiancé, William, betrayed me, leaving me shattered. With no options, I took a job as a live-in nurse for Nathaniel Blackwood, a paralyzed billionaire. On my first night, I uncovered a secret that changed everything. I arrived at William's mother Eleanor's house, expecting to discuss wedding seating arrangements. Instead, Victoria Peton answered the door, wearing my grandmother's pearl necklace, the one William claimed was stolen. My wedding invitations lay on the coffee table, my name crossed out in red ink, replaced with Victoria's. "Linda," she said with a venomous smile, William thought I should explain. "That necklace was my only inheritance, a treasure from my grandmother, who died of cancer when I was 12. William knew its significance, had comforted me when it disappeared, even helped file a police report. Now it adorned Victoria's neck, gleaming under the chandelier's light." "Where's William?" I asked, my voice steady despite my trembling hands. "Upstairs with Mother Hamilton, reviewing our prenuptial agreement," Victoria replied, inviting me in as if she already owned the place. The living room, where I'd spent countless Sundays seeking Eleanor's approval, felt like a battlefield. Eleanor sat in her wingback chair, sipping tea from her precious china. Beside her was Marcus Peton, the pharmaceutical magnate. "This is for the best, Linda," Eleanor said coldly. "You must see that." 3 weeks from the wedding I'd meticulously planned, they'd convened to replace me. Victoria explained their natural partnership, forged through the Peton Medical Technology Initiative. William descended the stairs, carrying a manila folder, his eyes devoid of warmth. "Everything's arranged," he said. "The apartment lease transfers to me. Your belongings will be packed and stored. The venue's been notified, for different purposes. They were keeping our wedding date for their wedding." Eleanor demanded the heirloom ring back, and William extended his hand, clinical and detached. "The relationship has run its course," he said. "Victoria and I share professional goals and a vision that aligns naturally." "When?" I whispered. 2 months ago, Victoria said, laughing. "These things become clear." The signs had been there: late nights, mystery charges, weekend conferences. My predictable routines, William said, had bored him. I removed the ring, placing it beside Eleanor's teacup. "Is there anything else?" I asked. Marcus stood. "Discretion. The medical community is small. A clean break benefits everyone." I left, the door's soft click sealing the end of my old life. The drive to our shared apartment was a blur. William wasn't there, but his cologne lingered. Then he appeared by the windows, still in scrubs. "We need to talk," he said, producing another manila envelope. He'd canceled the venue, photographer, and caterer 48 hours ago, while I was addressing save the dates. The lease, joint accounts, everything was now his. "Victoria and I share something you and I never could," he said, citing her father's connections and his career ambitions. The cruelty was surgical. I returned the original ring, its click on the countertop a final verdict. Alone, I packed my life into suitcases, finding receipts and Victoria's business card, evidence of betrayal. Eleanor's pre-labeled boxes waited by the door, my life reduced to Linda, miscellaneous. At 3 a.m., surrounded by apartment listings I couldn't afford, I called Dorothy Martinez, my foster mother. "Can I come over?" I sobbed. "I'm putting the kettle on," she replied. Dorothy's townhouse was a haven. She helped me move boxes into her spare room, where a new quilt and a photo from my nursing school graduation waited. Over chamomile tea, I told her everything. She held me, her flannel nightgown a familiar comfort. 3 days later, Dorothy brought a job offer from her cousin's agency, live-in nurse for Nathaniel Blackwood, a tech billionaire paralyzed in a skiing accident. The pay, $15,000 a month plus accommodations, was life-changing, but he was difficult. 4 nurses had quit in 2 months. Desperate, I took the interview. Margaret Harrison, the estate manager, was all sharp edges. My fiancé left me for Victoria Peton, I told her. I need to disappear. She slid a contract across her desk. Mr. Blackwood requires discretion. He's brilliant, bitter, and will test you. Can you handle that? I signed without hesitation. The Blackwood estate was a glass and steel fortress. My suite was luxurious but cold, a beautiful prison. Margaret's warning echoed, he'll test you. Don't take it personally. I entered Nathaniel's room without waiting for permission. He sat in a wheelchair, facing floor-to-ceiling windows, his presence electric. Another one, he sneered. What tragedy sent you here? Divorce, death, financial ruin? My fiancé left me for Victoria Peton, I said flatly. I'm here to work. He laughed, sharp and humorless, but something flickered in his storm-gray eyes. Our first medical exam was a battle. He resisted every step, but I countered with precision honed from years in trauma care. You'll leave in 3 days, he predicted. Your last nurse lasted 6, I replied. I don't cry anymore. That night, unable to sleep, I explored the mansion. A sound, metal clanging, labored breathing, drew me to a private gym. There, Nathaniel stood between parallel bars, taking agonizing steps. His supposedly paralyzed legs bore weight. He caught me watching, his fury volcanic. Get out. Why hide this? I asked. This is incredible progress. Because when people see hope, they expect miracles, he snapped. And when it stalls, they leave. Everyone leaves. Before I could respond, car engines roared outside. Through the gym's window, I saw Marcus Peton's vanity plate. Nathaniel's face hardened. Get my chair by the window. Take the service hallway. From a servant's door, I watched Marcus, Victoria, and William enter with 2 lawyers. Nathaniel played the broken man, shoulders slumped, blanket hiding his strength. William, claiming to consult for Peton Medical, lied about Nathaniel's permanent paralysis, citing unauthorized medical records. Marcus offered $15 million for Nathaniel's patents, a fraction of their worth, threatening a competency hearing if he refused. I served coffee, invisible to William, while they discussed offshore accounts and Nathaniel's supposed incapacity. His eyes met mine through the serving window, rage mirroring my own. After they left, Nathaniel's study became our war room. I shared William's betrayal timeline, matching it to Peton's first buyout offer. Nathaniel uncovered shell companies and damning emails, including one calling him ripe for harvesting and me compliant. We planned our counterattack. 2 weeks before the board meeting, Nathaniel walked 20 steps with a cane. His triumph brought me tears, not of pain, but pride. We're going to destroy them, he said, his thumb brushing my knuckles. Patricia Coleman, Nathaniel's lawyer, confirmed William's HIPAA violations and the Petons' insider trading. She's my partner, Nathaniel said when Patricia asked about my role, the word heavy with meaning. We rehearsed relentlessly. Nathaniel memorized legal statutes, practiced revealing evidence. The night before the meeting, on his private terrace, he shared his accident's aftermath, and I told him about my foster care walls. You belong here, he said, kissing me, a deliberate act of redemption. At Blackwood Industries, Nathaniel strode into the boardroom, his cane a weapon. Marcus paled, Victoria's composure cracked, and William collapsed into his chair. Nathaniel exposed their lies, William's unauthorized medical reports, Victoria's emails, Marcus's recorded threats. Patricia outlined criminal charges, conspiracy, espionage, HIPAA violations. They signed agreements withdrawing claims, resigning from boards, and barring contact. William's final, "This isn't over," was pathetic. Yes, it is, I said. You ended it 3 weeks ago. The board reinstated Nathaniel unanimously. In his office, he showed me plans for the Blackwood-Carter Rehabilitation Center, a facility for accessible spinal cord treatment. A silver key offered me partnership, equity, and a shared purpose. "You saw me when I was invisible," he said. I accepted. 6 months later, the center opened. Dorothy, my first hire, led patient advocacy. At the ribbon cutting, Nathaniel spoke of rebuilding from destruction. That afternoon, our first patient, Jamie, arrived. Watching Nathaniel with her, I saw his brilliance reborn. On the estate's private beach, Nathaniel proposed with a sapphire ring. "Build it with me, Linda," he said, from choice. I slid the ring on, kissing him as the waves erased our past. A month later, Jamie took her first unassisted steps. My phone buzzed, "William, pleading mistakes." I deleted it, taking Nathaniel's hand as our next patient arrived. From betrayal's wreckage, we'd built purpose, love, and a legacy that was ours alone.